getting that up. I'm going to read. Let's see. Tim, he runs a KC Improv. Oh my gosh, really? A Kansas City improv company?
There's another theater person. Yay!
That's awesome. Nathaniel, Farmington Hills. Michelle Young, way to pivot. Yes, way to pivot, Scott. That was amazing. I feel like I skipped somebody there. Yay, theater people. There was somebody back up here that was telling us, oh, Nate is from Farmington Hills, Michigan, and his units are in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So that's awesome.
I love Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh.
Yep, awesome. So
are you ready?
My presentation is not done because I was going to work on it today to finish it up, but that's okay. We can go with here. So I'm going to ask you ladies to stop your videos so it's just a full screen on things, because I want to go through a couple of things with everybody for a full screen there for you, but feel free to jump in with questions or comments, everybody. So I'm a big believer that you've got to pivoting shouldn't just happen once every 8 years or once every 5 years. I honestly believe that pivoting should happen really on an annual basis in some sort of fashion. For those that don't know me, my name is Scott Carson. I'm the CEO of WeCloseNotes.com. I'm also the host of the podcast for the Note Closer Show, which is a nationally syndicated podcast and radio show across the country. It's focused on the very small niche of distressed note investing. Now, what the heck is distressed note investing? Well, distressed mortgages, been doing this for over 15 years. No, we're going to get very busy here as the second half of the year rolls through. We figure out what's going on with forbearances and foreclosures and things like that. I've been an active real estate investor for 20 years, but as the market has changed over the last 15 years, we have changed. One of the big things in 2008, prior to 2008, I was not only a real estate investor, but a mortgage broker at the time. And then when everything hit the fan, I had to pivot into real estate investing is full time, pivoting out of my fix and flip business, my rehab business, into the distressed note space. That led to very good years of doing that and speaking and traveling. I had to pivot as things in the market changed, as more people came into that niche, and pivoted, made a major pivot 5 years ago from the speaking in person stage, going out and speaking in hotels or speaking once a week on the road. I mean, I was literally traveling about 40 weeks out on the road and had to pivot because my health was taking a second or really third seat to everything else I was doing. And so pivoting from doing hotel events, and if you've ever done a live train event, there's a lot of moving parts, from booking people, hotels, F&B, food and beverages, to audiovisual, making sure your speakers show up on time, to dealing with overhead. And it can be very profitable. We had some very, very profitable weekends, six-figure weekends in profits from this, but it takes a lot out of you after time. So fortunately for us, when we look at this especially now, as an act of God for the most part, is we were putting on an event in Houston that we planned, dropped a lot of money, over $25,000 in marketing and postcards and other things, and nobody signed up. It was a complete bomb out there. And I remember feeling I've never been so stressed as I was that week. 3 weeks before the event, where I finally said, it was a week, actually it was a week, the full 3 weeks before the event, I was extremely stressed, but especially the week before we were going to go, when I pulled the plug and I called all the speakers and I said, listen, event is not going to work. We just have to have anybody sign up for it. I would rather you flying out and talking to 5 people. Let's reschedule, let's pivot. Let's shake it up, and I'll bring you back on a conference call, a webinar we do on a regular basis, and go that route. So, and I didn't know what I was going to do, but we did pull the plug on it, swallowed a nasty thing, and we were driving to Dallas. And I remember this very specific conversation. And Stephanie, who's our VP of operations, she's like, "Why don't you just turn it into an online summit?" And I was like, "Oh, it's not going to work. The real estate space needs to be person to person, face to face. You miss that whole handshaking, networking aspect of things." And I said, well, she's like, give it a try. So we gave it a try, and it worked wonderfully. We've been doing, like I said, virtual events for years. We've been doing a lot of online stuff for the last 5 years. And so when everything hit the fan in the last few weeks, we had to adjust a few things. And I'll go through some of the things, but we have been pivoting every year in some sort of fashion. I think as entrepreneurs, if we stick and keep doing business the same through social media and marketing, we're going to find ourselves falling behind the pack, falling behind in the back of the pack versus the front of the pack. As entrepreneurs, we all want to lead the pack. So a couple things that I would recommend, and I don't think I'll get to all 10 of my list in this hour. I want to make sure and be respectful of our next speaker to come on here. But one of the big things that I'm a huge and very passionate about, and I'll talk a little about this too, is since I was not out speaking on the road, was more home doing online stuff. That's great. Online stuff is great, but you still have to drive in leads, still have to grow your audience. So a couple of things I want to go through with you guys this morning here is one thing that we have done is that, okay, where is our ideal audience? Okay. And that's the thing for you guys that are on here today or watching this live, watching this replay. I want you, if you've got a piece of paper, I want you to pull out that piece of paper or your notepad. Mine happened as the Walt Disney World on top of it, stolen from the hotel at Disney. There's a notepad in the room. Is I want you to make it, jot down and think of what your ideal client looks like and where they're at. Now, trust me on this. If you've done this before, this is something cool. I want you to think about, okay, if you don't know your audience, that you need to find out what your audience is. Think about your clients. If you've already got existing clients, then look at the makeup of roughly your most successful clients, or the clients that you love to work with the most. Not the pita breads, the pain in the asses, not the ones that are the outliers, but the average, your median clients, where really 80% of your income, 80% of your interaction comes with your clients. What do those people look like? What is their age group? Picture them. What's a guy look like? What's a girl look like? Now, if you're just in the male society or male clients, great. If you're just in female clients, great. All right, my friend Cassandra McClure is in the health and beauty industry. 90% of her clients are female, right? Okay, so she pictures her ideal client being somewhere between 25 and 55, female. They're curious about health, long-term skincare. They're eating organically. They're making 35 to 75 grand or more a year, especially as they get older. Their income goes up. They may be married with kids. They need some simple things because they have a very hectic schedule of trying to take care of their skin, their beauty, and their health. And so she has identified that and goes to where that is. Her big thing is on Instagram. It's also big on Facebook. Also on Pinterest, works extremely well here. So think about where your ideal client is at. Think about what their age group is. Think about what their interests, what are they doing on the weekends? Okay, what are they doing for Easter? Religion. Hey, if you've got a client or you're in a business where religion can be helpful, you're catering to churches or catering to youth, what's going on in their lives? Now, one of the biggest things, places that I like to go is I will Google, hey, where does boom, boom, boom hang out? Where do CEOs hang out? And I think a lot of us are looking for a little higher level client for you. And it's not me talking, but the AMA, American Marketing Association, has shown that for those people that are looking for your higher tier clients, your entrepreneurs, your business owners, which I think a lot of us are looking for those. They're not hanging out on Facebook, and they may not be hanging out on Instagram. They're primarily hanging out in two places. One is LinkedIn, and then another spot is Twitter. I was surprised about the Tweety Bird aspect of things, okay? But they're still going there to get quick timing. They're there for news. They have money, they don't have time. And that's the thing that I want you to think about when you're making your list here and identifying for your avatar. What are their pain points? Do they not have time at the end of the day? Are they spending an hour commuting? Are they struggling to find deals? Are they worried about retirement? Which I think a lot of people suddenly like, oh my gosh, I don't have even savings right now. When you look at the countries, one missed paycheck away from being in default. Or we used to be last year, it was 1 out of 10 Americans was already behind their mortgage. Now it's 1 out of every 8 Americans are behind on their mortgage. It's going to be worse than that. So finding out where your ideal client is going to be at and where they're hanging out, where are they putting their eyeballs? Where are they listening to? What are they watching? Where are they spending their 5, 10, 15 minutes each day that they've got the time to do that? And for us, it was LinkedIn. People are hanging out on LinkedIn. They're going there. It's a professional network. I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook. We do a little bit of advertising on Facebook, and that's great. But I think we can all agree, I think we've all fallen out of love with Facebook. when Facebook is changing the algorithms on a regular basis. I mean, you know, doing this a couple years ago where only a portion of your network is seeing your stuff. I mean, I've got 39,000 connections on Facebook through my business and my personal account, and only a fraction of those watch or see my stuff that I post there. But I see a much higher hit rate, much more involvement rate over on LinkedIn. So I wanted to go through a couple things, and I wanted to put this in here. For those of you that are watching this, I would love to know if you would put the chat roll for me. Type in what you do, what's your title, what's the title of the person you're looking for. So like for me, I'm looking for real estate investors. Jim Ross may say self-storage investing. Laura may say real estate investors. I don't know what some of the other things. So put your title or what you're looking for, the title of your person, the title of your avatar in the chat roll, in the Q&A. And I want to use that stuff to kind of show you some ways to connect with those people, show you ways to find those great connections for you. Okay. Now I'm heavily in the real estate industry. I know there's some people on here in the real estate industry that are in our network that joined up because we sent emails out, which is great. I'm going to go through some of that stuff as well too for you. So we've got, okay, good. Love it that you guys are independent. Jim Ross says independent self-storage owners, very specific mom pop owners. Okay, I love that. Laura says those interested in real estate investing. Okay. Mary Jo says I'm looking for single family buyers. You've got a lot of HR professionals. Okay, great stuff. Tim Mark says theater people. Yay. Okay, that's from the previous quote there, which is good. Okay, great. So let's do this. All right. Hi, Tina. Good morning. You're not on for a while, so I'm going to mute you and kick you off to an attendee, all right? Okay, she's off there. All right, good stuff. So here's what I like to do. Let me pull up and share my screen. Let me pull up. Should have it open. Boom, there we go. And I almost always have LinkedIn open on my screen. Okay, so yeah, here's LinkedIn. And I was actually playing around with this at night. So here's the thing. With everything going on and the craziness out there, we also need to be prospecting in a variety of ways, of reaching out to people, of identifying where people are hanging out. And like I'll just show you here. Here's a great example right on the top of my friend Jasmine Starr. She's a photographer and an Instagram influencer. She's also big on Instagram coaching. She teaches people how to do this, but she's out of San Diego, and she does a great job just posting on a regular basis. And that's the thing I think is one of the most underlying important things that we have to do on a regular basis, more so now than ever, is we can't stop reaching out. You need to really, instead of reducing the amount of times that you reach out to people, you need to increase the amount of times you reach out to people. Now, I'm not saying spamming them with an email every hour. We know we don't do that, but still touching base. Hey, we're still here. We've not gone anywhere. Now, I think everybody's sick and tired of all those emails or their ads on TV. Here's what we're doing. We're making sure and sanitizing my email that I send out to you so it's a corona-free email, right? No, heck with that. We don't want that. I mean, we got enough of that, right? Everybody's down in the dumps about that. But sharing what you're doing, sharing your journey. Hey, what are you doing to stay fit? What are you doing to stay active? What are you doing to encourage or connect with people? People need to see that. Because whether you like it or not, in the words of Seth Godin, we've all got tribes. We've all got people that look up to us, and we need to lead our tribes. I don't care who you are or where, whether you're in Naperville, Ohio, or West Palm Beach, Florida, Austin, Texas, Wimberley, Timbuktu, Detroit, wherever you're at. We all have local, and then these days, international tribes, not Indians, tribes that want to follow us in some sort of fashion. A lot of friends, families, colleagues, coworkers, stuff like that. So going back up in here, I'm a big fan of using LinkedIn to identify not only people that are in my ideal avatar, but clients or potential prospects for working with people, okay? And so here's the big thing I would recommend. Going over to LinkedIn and using the search bar is so good. So Jim said self-storage, mom and pop owner. So I would just type in self-storage and just type that in there, self-storage, see what pops up. And you'll see on here, now we got 350,000 people that say they're in self-storage. So we'll just type in self-storage owner. Let's do that. That'll narrow it down a little bit. So that drops us to double the number. So you see Brian Himmons, owner at Store More Self-Storage. Bob Copper, owner Self-Storage 101. You can see the areas that are located. All right. Now, Jim, do you have a specific area of the country that you're working with a lot of people in? Ideally that you've already, because I think, Jim, you're in the self-storage management and you do a lot of that for your mom and pop owners, I believe so. Okay. But so going on here is a great way to at least connect with people. If you've already connected a lot of people, then I like to drop it down and drop it to the second degree connection on there. And then what I like to do, hey, just send a message out. Hey, just wanted to touch base. Let's say, I think he said a specific area for third party. Yes, Utah and surrounding states. Okay, so let's just type in Utah. Now it showed 400 plus results there for you. Perfect. Okay. Now you see Rocky Witten, business owner at Visit Self-Defense Glove. Okay, it may not be it, but Stephen Ross, self-storage. Brick Hotch, real estate consultant sales, self-employed. So you're gonna see some of the self pops in there. Self-employed, self-storage investments at Acadia Strategies, Greater Salt Lake area, Austin, Livingston. Okay. Sandy McCleve, currently self-storage broker, state of Utah. Steve Streeter, owner at Arson Custom Homes. Okay, well, maybe not some, but what I'm getting at here is, hey, yeah, you're going to have some stuff that falls in place there. It's not in it, but ideally, you're going to have a lot of people that you can reach out to, and that's all about just sending a connect. And one of the most important things, besides just pulling this list here, we'll get to some more of you guys out there, is the simple connection strategy. Just touching base with people, but we're all limited by the amount of space or real estate that we can connect with people on a regular basis, right? It's like 300 or less characters that we can type in here. So one of the most important things that I think you have to do is craft your hello video. I don't want to say your pitch video. I call it a pitch video for a variety of things, but your hello email. And we'll go through a little bit of that facet, so what builds up a good hello video email on LinkedIn in just a second here. But I want to pull up some of the others that we're kind enough to share out there. Okay, so we're done with those. Let me go to the chat roll here real fast. So let's see here. Real estate. Okay. Laura said real estate investing. Mary Jo Peterson says looking for single family buyers. I do residential rehab. Okay. Mary Jo, is there any, and Christine says HR professional. So let's do that. Let's type that in here. Let's start with the first because I think she was the first one. Let's say human resources. If you're looking for professionals, okay. Human resources. Let's not companies, not locations. Let's change this to people. Let's do this. Oh, it is people. Secondary connections. All right. And here you go. Heidi Villarreal is in Austin, Texas. Mary Hay is in Austin, Texas. Maxima L is in Austin, Texas. Okay. Christine says, I've increased my LinkedIn connections over 450 in 2 months. That's awesome, Christine. There are some cool tools that you can use to help automate kind of that aspect. One of the things I like to do is I use a service called Octopus CRM. If you've been on my webinars before, see that I do that on a regular basis. Like I already connected with 100 people this morning at 8 o'clock. I sent it out and it automatically sent out invites customized for them. If I got time, I'll get to that later on. But this is something you should be doing on a daily basis. In the beautiful thing, well, let me just show you here. It should already pull up here. It's already sent out some stuff like this here. Oh, already connected like here, Wes Robinson. So like I sent out this morning, one of the things that we do with a Note Closure Show podcast is it's a very niche-y podcast with what I do. It's very niche real estate investing. So what I do with my contact here is I'm reaching out to note investors, people that identify themselves as note investors and say, hey, Wes, and Octopus did this for me. I didn't have to do. I just had to set up basically a thing and automatically did. So, hi, Wes. I'm looking to connect with other investors during the craziness. I've been an investor for 15 plus years. I'm a podcast, the Note Closure Show, that is focused on investing in notes. I'd love for you to check it out. And I put a link in there, which it takes them straight to my homepage to watch it. Well, Wes is connected with it. Thank you for connecting. Okay. Same thing. Jeannie did the same thing. She connected, accepted my connection. Stephanie Lang. Oh, look at this. She says, hi, Scott. Thanks for inviting me to connect. I will check out your podcast. Hey, check it out. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to follow back up with them at the end of the day. Hey, just wanted to see, love to connect with you individually. Let's schedule a phone call. You know, I've done that with, if you're watching this, you're probably seeing my face here. You can see below here my thing, talkwithscottcarson.com. I encourage you to use that if you want to book a 30-minute call with me to go through kind of the things that you're working through and how we can help you out with that. Feel free. Complimentary 30-minute phone call to go through that with you guys. So just want to put that out there in case we get it. But right now, look, Kaylee McMahon just responded, or she just accepted my connection. I send about 100 to 150 of these connections automatically per day. It takes, it's done for me. I've got 3 or 4 of these different lists that I do on a regular basis. Real estate investors, speaking of the devil. So like Laura says, real estate investors. We'll type that in there and see what pops up. 336,000 connections. Okay. Let's drop it down. Let's say, Laura, is there any particular state you're looking for investors in? I don't use Navigator. I use Octopus CRM, which is kind of a cool tool. So what, while Laura's answering that question, you can, here's Octopus CRM. If I go to my dashboard, it tells me, you can see how many connections. I've grown my connections from roughly about 8,000 to over 21,000 this year alone, 13,000 new connections. Okay. I've got about 2,450 pending invites. Okay. I'm down a little bit from last week. I had 1,500 views the week before on my profile, and I've increased my weekly search appearance to just about 500 searches a week. People are finding my information. Okay. So, but the great thing is Octopus has this kind of customized connect thing. And so, let's do this. Let's do this. Let me just do this for the heck of it. It's just fun. So let's type in, let's do this here. Let's type in human resources. I can, resources. Type that in, human resources. I'm already connected with the first degree. I don't want to connect with those. I'm already connected. So second degree, it shows that there. I've already got Octopus on my screen. So all I do is go up here, hit the little O. This is like 20 bucks a month. All right. And you see, okay, nope, I'm going to create a human resources. Create it. It's a new list. I want to pull over, I can pull to 1,000 profiles at a time into this list. So I type 1,000. It's going to pull my search results from that and hit send to CRM. So take a second to send it over there. But going while this is doing it, one of the most important facets that you have to do is that connectivity. So the things I think you all need to be doing on a day in, day out basis, okay? Daily, obviously connecting with people, whether it's your existing current database or prospecting. We all know you can't go to networking events these days unless they're online, which is so great, but you still miss the interaction. So I still like using this as a way to kind of identify the groups I need to talk to. And I use this for note investors, real estate investors, podcast guesting. I know Juliet is using this for helping her find authors and publishers and speakers for her quizzes. I think she's increased her, I think I saw in the chat roll, she's increased her LinkedIn connections dramatically. Let's see here. From 2,600 and booked 36 interview speaking gigs since mid-January. That's phenomenal. Woo! We got to give an applause for that. That's phenomenal. Great stuff, Juliet. I'm so proud of you. Okay? She uses Octopus. I introduced her to this. Okay. But the thing is, using this, and this can automatically do stuff. Now, an important thing to keep in mind is you don't want, like a lot of people, I think we've all been spammed on LinkedIn with those long chain emails like, oh, I'm the greatest person since sliced bread here. Let's buy right now. That's not the case. You never want to come across the board on your LinkedIn, on your profiles by just like, hey, buy my stuff now. Buy now, I'm awesome. Nobody wants that. Sleep with me now, let's have kids. No, okay, we don't want that. It's still a little romance. You gotta have a little courting going on here. And I always like to say, hey, here's the courting that goes on, okay? Let's reach it out. Hey guys, I'm another investor. I'm just looking to connect with you. I've got a podcast. Maybe you wanna listen to it, great. And then follow back up. I know what Julie does. I pull up, well, this is working here. It's pulling up over here. Just give it a second. I got a lot open on my page. I probably should close some of this stuff down. Probably work a little bit better. So But going to the back to the point here is using this connect on a daily basis and making it easy to the connect. Yeah, I have no problem sending an email out to my database or connecting with people 100 times as long as it sounds like I'm being, I just want to connect. Hey, let's connect. Let's talk. We're both real estate investors. Hey, we're both in the HR side of things. Okay. So once Octopus, I think just Octopus has cleared it up. All right. So let's go on here. Now it looks like it's done here. Okay. So let's go. So it's popped it over here. Not yet. So let me close that down. Let me pull it back up in just a second here. That's transferring over there. Okay, so it's still in the process of doing that. But what I'm trying to get is everybody is having your kind of a three-step approach to things. One, I think LinkedIn is one of the most important places that you can be at because it is a hot thing. Two, you still got to get an email out to your database in a variety of ways. And one of the things that you have to do, LinkedIn doesn't allow this. You got to find some way to transfer people from LinkedIn into something that's going to connect with them. Now, Juliet is going to share something later today or tomorrow on the quizzes that she does. Is a great way to do stuff. I like using, hey, Talk with Scott Carson. They go to Talk with Scott Carson. You know what's going to happen there? I'm going to get and capture their email. I'm then going to capture a little bit of information about them, their name, their email, their phone number. And then I can export my Calendly link into my database. But those are really good clients for the most part, especially taking the time for the most part. Occasionally you get some dead wood, people that will love to talk your head off that aren't, you know, there. That's why we limit the calls to 15 or 30 minutes for that with Calendly or whatever your meet me aspect of things. But using LinkedIn is one of the best ways to connect with the ideal clients. And what's more importantly, the ideal professional clients that you're looking for. I may be running too much stuff at the same time here. Let me close some of this stuff down. Well, that's probably what the big thing is here. But what I love more so than anything else about this is just being able to connect with people on a regular basis. We're all busy. If I can talk to 100, if I can connect with 50 people on a day in, day out basis, that's great. That's one of the most beautiful things that you can do. So Juliet says on here, I spoke with someone who needed podcast guests and I introduced them to 3 of my clients who fit her needs. Yeah, that's the beautiful thing on here is that if you're putting people together, human resource professionals here, while this thing is updating here, you can reach out to your database. Hey, if you've grown it by human resources, hey, I got somebody who needs some help in human resources in New York City or Austin or Dallas or Salt Lake, whatever, okay? There's a variety of things that you can use with this to really help you home it in here. And I don't know why it's giving me issues this morning here. It might be just that you got too much going on. Come on, baby. I'm gonna stop that and restart it there really fast. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is it's important to be connecting on it. And if you don't want to spend the $9 or the $19 for Octopus CRM, that's totally fine. Let's try this one more time. Okay, so now it's done that there. It's perfect there. Now it's done it here. Oops, hang on a second. Hey, Michelle, when you come on, make sure you mute your microphone so I don't hear you chewing on your breakfast. Anyway.
Even if it's delicious?
Even if it's delicious, yes, ma'am. Please mute yourself, all righty? Good stuff. I love it, Michelle. All right, so going back here, now I think we got it working here. So let's click back on here again. All right, now that we've transferred over, I just go down here to click the CRM. It says 0 out of 100 profiles you have been transferred to the campaign, okay? So let's go up here to human resources, and you see 100 people on the right-hand side here have been added. So we can go over here. Let's say I only want to connect with one. Hey, I'll just say hello, and then I'll put in first name, and it'll pull the first name. I'm looking for an experienced HR professional to help with my small business. And would love to talk with you if this falls in line, whatever it might be. Okay, and then I would just hit boom, launch, and it would start launching everything else. So we're not going to do the launch here on human resources. We'll do it another one. So let's go to, like, I can set up another thing. So like I'm a real estate podcast. I'm looking to get booked on a real estate podcast. So you can see it just transferred over here. Now I've got 51 connections still left to connect out of 1,000. And you can see on here, Happy First Name. I wanted to reach out to other podcast hosts to expand my podcasting network in 2020. This is an older one. I've also got an online podcasting summit. You can see I've used this in the past before. Let's change that up. Let's go to Real Estate Podcast 2020. Podcast host real estate. There we go. 519. Fellow podcast, want to see if you might be interested in me on as a guest to discuss. We will see in this chaos. And I put a video in here. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at. It's customized to go out, and I can hit, okay, let's launch this to about 50 people. I already did 100 this morning. So I hit launch. Octopus is going to do all this work for me to connecting and automatically sending this out. See, last time I sent this out was 4 weeks ago, right before everything crazy happened. Now I stopped it because I wanted to see where everything was going with the market. So it's working for me here going out there. But the great thing I want you to see is this video is short. I don't want to put an hour-long webinar because nobody's going to watch that immediately. I want to put something that's going to have impact, show a little about my personality that I can send out to my ideal clients, my ideal avatars, people I'm looking for. Okay, so you see, it's automatically sent one out to Tom Zappia 19 seconds ago. It's in the process in the second one. All right, boom, just like that, it's sending out to Dan Hurt a second ago. Automatically sending these invites out, but the beautiful thing is here, let me just stop this here, is the video they're getting is just a short little video I put together privately using Zoom. I've also used my smartphone to film a short little hello video, okay? Short little video that just is out to say, hey, we can't really go into 300 people individually. You could, but I want to make sure and share what is going on. So this is, I wouldn't do your videos longer than 2 minutes.
And I'm going to cross the country as the Nook guy. My specialty is I am a very active real estate investor and the CEO of WeCloseNuts.com. We are a Austin-based.
So I go through, hey, what can I add value to their audience? I have 2 or 3 of these different videos that I use, depending on the time of year, and you go back in and change a different video that I use. But the thing is, whatever your thing is, hey, I'm looking for residential, I'm looking for single family home buyers. I'm a fix and flipper looking for people to buy my properties in Columbus, Ohio. I'm an HR professional in Texas looking to connect with other HR professionals. Whatever it might be, minute to 2 minute video. Doesn't have to be horribly long. You don't have to have a Grammy. Heck, a selfie works really well as well too. But you can take that link, upload it to Vimeo, something like this, or YouTube, and then put that link in your chat roll, or your Octopus CRM that goes out there, or just in the Sales Navigator if you want to. Very simple to automate this service, so you're getting stuff done. And those that are connecting, I go back at the end of the day and connect with. Start in the morning, go back in the afternoon, go back in the evening, and connect with those. Hey, it was great connecting with you. Hey, it's great connecting with you. A lot of times, first thing in the morning, before I get started, okay, who connected? Oh, LinkedIn, I have 5 connections. Hey, great, awesome, good connect. Hey, great connect. Something you can do very easily throughout the day to make things work for you, okay? So Mary Jo Peterson says, where would you search to find single family buyers? So are you looking for retail buyers, Mary Jo, or are you looking for investors to buy investment properties? Retail buyers. Okay, I would be doing with that aspect of Mary Jo. Where are you located? What's your target market? You're in LA. Oh my gosh. And is there a price point that you kind of fall into with single family buyers? Woohoo, exactly. 1.5 million or higher. Okay. Now, are these listings that you have already? They're your listings, and you're looking for buyers to come to the table? Okay. So what I might do, and you probably don't mind if other agents have buyers looking for deals. You're the rehabber. Okay. Oh, so you want to get the word out to realtors and people like that may have people that are looking for buyers because it's a competitive market. Okay, now I get you here. So what I would do, I would go, let's go back to LinkedIn. Let's do this. So let's go back to realtor, and we'll say Los Angeles. Okay, let's see what pops up with that. Gina De La Rosa, all Southern California, Downing, Southgate, Linwood, Lakewood, Huntington. Okay, realtor, LA realtor. Lean fan, Orange County and LA County real estate consultant, real estate investor. Okay, so that's what I would do. I would go on here and I would literally just do what I did with Octopus CRM, reach out to 100 people, say, hey, I've got this beautiful listing, and maybe you go on and create a short little video. You could do a PowerPoint presentation on before or after, or I want maybe to do the before side, but the, hey, your virtual walkthrough, make it like a minute long, 2 minutes long, something simple that you can put together, get the word out to other people on this. But these people that are obviously on LinkedIn are probably a little bit more professional. Not everybody's on LinkedIn all the time. You know, go from there. You know, that's the thing to look at, is just doing this on a regular basis, building your database. Send them to something that they can opt in, whether it's, hey, text notes to 72,000 or text quiz like Julia used. I say, hey, let's book an appointment, you know, book a schedule. Does that make sense for you? You could totally do this in conjunction with them. If you're not affecting them, have your realtor put together a flyer, or maybe they have a virtual website. Hey, I got a great, you can say, hey, I don't know if you've got a buyer looking for, I got a beautiful 1.5 million, 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath house in, you know, located at 101 Lakeside Drive. Here's a link to the listing. Okay. And, you know, easy enough to do, boom, 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 getting the word out. And you could do this in any state, any city that's available. We've done this too by looking for real estate investors. If for Laura, looking for real estate investors. If you've got, like I know Laura is working on a large portfolio, I believe, so like 300 properties. Okay, 300 properties is a big portfolio, but I guarantee based on the list that she has of the assets, it breaks down into a couple states, probably Ohio being a big thing. So Laura Blunt could go on here and do the same thing. Hey, 7 states, even better. Okay. How many big geographic markets that are available out there? Okay. All right, I'm about to mute everybody. Okay, let's pull this up here. Excuse me 1 second, everybody. I'm going to mute some people here. All right, good stuff. So using this, picking the 7 states, Laura, what's 1 or 2 of the states, or it's one of the 2 bigger markets that you've got in those 200 or 300 properties that you're trying to move. And some of these you're wanting to keep for yourself. I get that. But you're also in the process of selling like 30, 40. Cincinnati. Oh, even better. Okay. So let's do this. So let's do real estate investor and type in Cincinnati. Now with this, there you go. 500 plus results. There are secondary connections to me. Okay. And you can see real estate investor at Greater Cincinnati, real estate investor at BG Homes. And so I would just go on here and basically kind of thing you're saying, connect, add a note, always want to add a note. Hey, Tim, I'm a fellow real estate investor with some performing notes in the Cincy area. I don't know if you might be interested. You or someone you know the portfolio. Yeah, more. That way we say that in real estate. And then put a link in there. Hey, connect with me. Let's talk. And maybe you put your calendar link, or you make it an easy link, a pretty link. I went out and bought the domain Talk with Scott Carson because it was a whole lot easier to remember talkwithscottcarson.com than it was bit.ly calendly / whatever. Okay. So let's talk. But you see, I've only used 107 characters. Now, what could also be really nice, Laura, if you've got pictures of those 7 properties, maybe you could throw them into an Animoto slide, or maybe you put them on a Facebook ad or Facebook post and you share the link to that Facebook post in here. Something like that. Because if you add video or add an image or something, it's going to increase your engagement versus just putting a post. And it's the same thing on Facebook, same thing on Twitter. Anytime you can put a picture or a video, it's going to increase your engagement quite a bit there. So that's what I would do. Boom, I got that. And I would do that. That's what I would put in my Octopus CRM to make that work for you. Okay. Let's see chat roll here. Love Animoto. Yeah, Animoto is a great little thing that you can put together. It's pretty inexpensive. So you make a 30-second transition video with a few photos, and it's all included for free with Animoto. Anything over 30 minutes, or 30 seconds, I'm sorry. Anything over 30 seconds will cost you, and then you can brand it as well for you. So what were some of the other things? I'm going back here through the chat roll. Anybody have missed out on some of their questions or where they're at? All right, so then we could take our Mary Jo, which is great. Juliet, thank you for sharing. Tina, okay, Juliet. Christine Glass, awesome. So Mike Brady, you're looking for real estate investors that borrow for deals and refinance. Okay. Are you looking for people that are using other people's money, like private money, or using traditional financing? Are you like a traditional mortgage broker that you've got some cash out deals, or maybe it's a 2 or 3K loan or something like that? Is Mike still on here? So you do the same thing. If you're looking to boost, like if I was, oh, here we go. I think you commented now. Non-bank refinance and hard money style loans. Okay, hard money style loans. Is there a specific area you're looking for? Is there a specific state or specific market? Like I have some buddies that run hard money companies, and they do stuff like primarily Austin, primarily Dallas, you know, Texas, the major markets in Texas, or they do it in a variety of different states. I'm in Nashville. You're looking for Nashville, Tennessee. Is that correct? Okay, so let's pick an area. Okay, so pick the major areas. You can't do the whole southeast in a post, but you can pick the major cities. Let's say Nashville. Thank you. Let's kiss. Keep it simple, silly. Same thing here. Real estate investor, Nashville. Okay. 600 plus results on LinkedIn here. Now it's secondary connections. You're probably more than that. Let's just look at take out the connections out of it and see what applies. 2,000 plus results. Okay. Some you can see invite sent to some, others not invite sent. Same thing. Real estate investor at real estate greater Nashville area. So same thing. I just wanted to touch base with fellow local. I'm in Nashville. Don't know if what you're using to finance your projects. We are still providing funding and competitive rates. Would love the chat to talk about what kind of projects you're looking for funding on. Something simple. You know, another thing that would work well, I think, for a lot of people out there too, is going and leveraging meetup groups. And I've got about 10 minutes left before we take our first break and our next speaker comes on. I think Tina's comes on next. But anyway, meetup groups, yes, meetup groups. Some of you guys have heard me talk about this before that are from my network. Those that aren't, there's meetup groups for everything out there. So let's just type in human resources, see if there's a group for human resource professionals in Austin, Texas. Right, no groups matching that. All right, fine. Let's take it out and say within any distance. All right, maybe not. Who else to type? So let's type in self-storage. That's probably going to fall under the real estate side, but we'll just type in self-storage. That'd be more of your real estate stuff. And let's look at groups. Oh, you know what? I may have done. Let's try something else here. Let's just go back to this. Human resources. There you go. Australia, Sydney. Minneapolis Human Resources HR Network. Okay, 36 members. All right, Cincinnati Black Human Resources Club. Human Resources Professional. Here we go. Look at these big ones here. A couple of these big ones here. Human Resources Technology and Drinks. Oh, I love that one. Let's click on that one. All right. So Human Resources, a lot of these groups will have a message board that you can post to, something interesting, like a conversation, like discussion board where you can post something. But some of them also, if you go to the different groups, hit more, will have a mailing list. Ooh, I get excited about the mailing list. Okay. So first, what you've got to do, this is out of New York. You got to join the group. Oh, I'm a member now. Okay. So I click on more over here. Let's click on the mailing list. Nobody has sent a message yet. Okay, they're not publicizing the mailing list. Now, some groups will give you the actual email list of the whole group. as part of the thing, and you can send a mail out to them. And this is, I would not solicit them something, hey, I got a deal, or hey, I'm got something special going on. I mean, you can go the same thing to the discussion board in a lot of these groups too, and post a discussion. See, like Sudhit Patel, he put something on the New Times article, Tech Hub. You can post a lot of the stuff on there and still be able to have it go out to the 823 members. There are some big groups out there that you can use Meetup to connect with. So using this, if you're in an area that's remote or you're having a difficulty, at least jumping on Meetup and seeing what's available, connecting with people. Hosting your own Meetup virtually is a given, okay? Tracy, there are no Meetups at all right now. No, I don't agree with that, Tracy Hazard. There are a lot of Meetup groups that have suspended or have transitioned to that one time a month doing something virtual. And here's the big opportunity, okay? If you see a Meetup group that isn't your ideal thing and they're not doing something virtual, that is your opportunity to come in and do a Zoom call, to do a Meetup group online like we're doing today. That's a huge opportunity to reach out there, no matter what your niche is, and just bring people together. Hey, how are you working with it? Like, you're just doing that. What are you doing? How are you overcoming that? Okay. Let me go back here. Who was that? Give me 1 second. Sorry. It's like, no, it's Mary Jo. Whoever was the HR professional going through, hey, I'd love to connect with our HR professionals in this time that we can't meet in person. Let's at least jump online. Let's talk. Let's have a HR happy hour. Okay. So it's an opportunity. Yeah, there's not people meeting in person, but they still have the groups. They've already done that heavy lifting for you by putting a group together. Put on the discussion board. Hey, let's do a virtual meetup. I'm new to the group. We'll still love to connect online. Okay. That's a huge opportunity, because what we have found more than anything else is that people who stop doing their stuff, those groups, those events, those are the ones that are going to be the ones that suffer the most. You know, statistics say what they think, that 35 or 40% of events won't recover, won't come back, because they just stop. Now, look at like South by Southwest, huge event here in Austin, Texas, just stopped. Okay. $1.6 billion impact on the economy here in Austin, Texas. Yes, it's a huge thing, maybe just Austin, Texas, but worldwide. I mean, there's 210 vendors now that pay 10, 15, 20 grand to have a booth that aren't getting any business out of it. Okay. Could you not reach out to them and say, hey, I think you might be an ideal fit for my group, or reaching out into the local artists and bringing people together in a meetup group in your area? That's what I'm trying to get at, everybody. The more important is the way that you can connect with people. And it may not be something ideal. You may do it once and you may get 4 people on there, but you know what? Those 4 people, you need to get just one person to reach out to you. We're all just one relationship away from something major happening. Okay. One connection way that can refer you to a new client, or refer you to a new resource, or refer you to your ideal client out there. And that's the most important thing, is the networking still needs to continue. And if that's what you want, and we've got time, we probably have another 30 days here. So going back here and kind of doing a quick little recap before I take a few Q&A from the audience here, before we wrap it up and stay on time, on task here for you, is best thing you can do is jump on and increase your connections. You don't have to use Octopus CRM. Jump on there. You can just individually do them one at a time. Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste for the most part. But reaching out on a regular basis to LinkedIn. 2, if you've got an email database, send an email out to your database and just say, hey, here's what we're doing, a day in the life. One of the most effective things that launched me in a rough time back in 2009, 2010, is I made a challenge to myself. It was after out of the mortgage company, was in the real estate investment facility, and it was a rough time there. I had some rough things going on in 2009, 2010, but I was like, I need to do something. I want to challenge. What would help me get out of a bad hole? Making 100 grand in 100 days. What the hell? Why not? Let's set some big goals. So one of the things that I did is I set a challenge, and then every day I shared via Facebook and LinkedIn, via blog or a little short video of what I was doing. At the end, at 56 days, I was so overwhelmed with people responding, sending me deal flow, sending me funding, that I couldn't continue the blog. I was so overwhelmed that I finally did a wrap up at 100 days. Say, hey, here's where I've been the last 44 days. Just thank you so much. We all need to connect with our audience. And that means video, touching base. Where we don't have that on a regular basis, touching base. And don't say, hey, let me offer up another virtual summit for you, or here's why you need to be virtual, here's the online. No, hey, let's just talk. How are you doing? What's going on? Here's what we're doing. Here's what we did today. Okay? How can I help? Business still needs to go on. I think that's the biggest thing, is business still needs to go on. We just can't do it in person anymore. Yes, things have slowed down. But right now, if you invest in your infrastructure, LinkedIn, email, video, those are the three biggest things that are going to help you pivot more than anything else. And you know what? Don't try to be Hollywood. Don't try to be freaking Cinemax on your phone. I was going to say Skinamax. That's a whole different thing we could go. But don't try to be perfect. Just be yourself. Just hit the record button and send the damn email. All right? Send the post. Just connect with people. That's the best way to pivot, is build your network. Go out there and talk with people. Hey, what do you need help with? I might know somebody. Like in the last couple of days, I've connected probably a dozen people that I've either met either online through different groups, through different meetup groups, or different LinkedIn connections by just simply doing the simple things. And you know what happens? Hey, they're reciprocating. Hey, a buddy of mine that just met you just told me to talk to you. Great, let's talk. So I want to open it for a couple of questions as we kind of come to a little break here before we bring on our next speaker. I know we got a little bit of a couple minute break between myself. I think Tina's the next one. It's on there, Tina. Thank you for being on time. I appreciate it. What questions do you guys that are having or join us on here? Once again, recapping, diving into your LinkedIn presentation. And what I'll do as well, too, everybody, if you guys don't mind, I have about a PowerPoint halfway put together. I was finishing today, but you got to pivot. You got to be ready to pivot. I'll send out a link. I'll record it and send a link out to everybody that you're interested for it. If you'd like to schedule a 30-minute conversation with me one-on-one, talking about, hey, ways to help you guys, maybe brainstorming on some things. I know that Jim, Ross was on here earlier. Laura Blanc knows that I've done that. Who else is on here that I've talked with on a regular basis? Let's see here. Just glad to spend 30 minutes with you, helping you pivot, helping you talk through what you're going through, ways that we can help. Talkwithscottcarson.com is the link. Let me put it in the chat roll to make it easy. Yes, you can ask me. You can ask about my business other than real estate. Of course, Liz, ask away. Okay. Yes, Mary Jo asked the question: did I literally tell people your challenge 100K in 100 days? Yeah, that was a whole blog. 100K in 100 days. I think it's still on. It still may be on Hub Pages. Let's see if it's still up there. If it's still searchable. Maybe not. Maybe may have not gone down anymore. I don't even know if the Hub Pages are around anymore. But yeah, so what's the question? Ask away. Oh, you're talking about booking with me. Yeah, of course. It doesn't have to be real estate. We do a lot of things. We do a lot with our marketing side. I think one of the great things that we do with our business is that we do a tremendous job on the marketing side and owning our niche. You know, we have started doing 1 day, 8-hour kind of trainings once a month with our audience out there. Hey, and reduce the price down from $100 down to like $20, just getting people in, and then converting them by, feeding them content for an hour, for 8 hours. Say, listen, hey, if we do this in 8 hours, imagine what we can do in 3 days with you. Okay. And that's the whole point of bringing people in, offering, just giving them content, giving them something of value. Don't go, hey, join my link, buy. No, because then they will say, bye. All right. The whole point is getting people in, having conversations, getting them into your pipeline, seeing what you're doing, and then realizing that you're adding value out there. Thanks, Elizabeth. Appreciate it. Yeah, we do a pretty good job with our niche. Okay. So glad to do it. I think it's 30 minutes. Starts off next week for you guys. If it's full for that day, just move on to the next one, and we're glad to jump on there as well. So any questions, comments, concerns? I know I'm excited for the next round of speakers. Thanks, Juliet. I appreciate it. But pivot, guys. Don't be afraid to. The only thing you hurt by not trying something is yourself. That's the only thing you're going to guarantee is failure. Yeah, you're going to fail. And that's the thing. Don't be afraid to fail forward in this time. Don't be afraid to screw shit up. Okay. It's okay to screw stuff up. You learn more from your mistakes. I screw stuff all the time. I have things that I do stuff that screw up all the time. Hey, okay, screwed up. Let's get it fixed. And move on. You're going to learn more from that more than anything else. Good to see some people on here. Our neck of the woods out there for you guys. But once again, thank you so much for coming on and joining us here today in the Peace and Pivot Summit. Book a call, talkwithscottcarson.com, and see if we can help you pivot there. So, hey, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Scott. That was amazing. Thank you so much. And anybody who's listening, you should absolutely, if you can get half an hour with Scott, do it. Yeah, you might get a fire hose worth of information, but then it's all stuff that you can follow up on. So
Promise the 30 minutes a little bit more organized.
yeah, right. Well, thank you, Scott, so much for jumping in and being part of this. We're going to take a 10-minute break now, and then we
actually
have
7-minute break. We want to stay on time, so let's do a 7-minute break. All right.
All right,
so
Tina Greenbaum. And while you're gone, you can take her quiz. Scott's going to.
Let's do that. Yes, let's post. Let's hang on a second here.